Why does homelessness prevention matter?
hmm Yeah, I think working at the COH, the Canadian Observatory on Homelessness, I really was able to kind of see why we need to focus on prevention, right? So I think homelessness prevention is really key if we want to dramatically reduce homelessness. So if we had stronger, homelessness prevention strategies, we wouldn't have the level of homelessness that we currently are seeing in Canada. So, we often think of countries like Finland or Norway that have these stronger kind of social safety nets, and they appear to have lower levels of homelessness because of it, like comparatively to what nations such as Canada and the United States. So I think what I really like about homelessness prevention is that it really focuses on the structural and systemic causes of homelessness. So we know that there's a significant lack of affordable housing, particularly social housing, public housing, or rent geared to income housing, which impacts homelessness because people can't afford to live in a lot of communities in Canada. By increasing the stock of affordable housing, we will prevent homelessness from occurring. Similarly, if we had income supports that actually match the cost of living, we would prevent homelessness from occurring as well. So we know in Ontario, Ontario Works, or Ontario Disability Support Program, ODSP, those levels are just, they're not meeting like the level of inflation. There's just been a stagnation of increases to social assistance, which is really detrimental to people. So, if we also think about kind of what the institutions, how they can have a role in preventing homelessness too. I think that's an area that's getting more and more attention. So things like hospitals or jails or prisons, if we have legislation attached within these organizations to have a mandate to not discharge into homelessness, what impact would that have too? And I think, that's another preventative measure where you're identifying the risk of homelessness earlier, and then you're addressing it earlier as well. So I think, homelessness prevention is really focused on shifting away from kind of that individual kind of blaming that sometimes happens, and really thinking about how the structures and policies that are put in place impact people's entries into homelessness and how those can be changed to prevent that from even happening. So I think, it's a tangible way of looking at the prevention of homelessness in a different light. And I think too, we're seeing from some of the point in time count data that has emerged kind of nationally that a lot of adults experienced homelessness as a young person, right? So if we are able to really address youth homelessness earlier, we may be preventing adult homelessness in the future as well. So I think it's important to think about, what we do now will impact the future as well. And that's where we're really going to see the impact of homelessness prevention, because I think that's a critique of homelessness prevention, right? It's really hard to kind of measure how you're preventing homelessness because homelessness doesn't happen, right? That's the good outcome that we want. So I think it's a new and emerging field. I feel like there's a lot of really good work happening in the youth sector, but I think that needs to translate a bit more into the adult sector as well.
Right. And it's very important to recognize that role of our institutions in this work as well, that it's not just about the individual, as you said, but really thinking about how our public structures can, help with this issue. So we think, for instance, of schools and some of the work that's being done around upstream and, getting to youth while they are still in the school. And there are the adults that they are connected with on a daily basis, whether that's teachers or guidance counselors, and trying to intervene before they leave and before there are bigger issues that emerge.